Hello, and welcome to the show. Hopefully you can hear me okay over the fans. Our air conditioning's been out for a couple days. It just got fixed, and we're still trying to get the air moving around. And I wanted to get this video out, so hopefully you can hear me okay. Yeah, so let's dive in. I'm going to start today with foxnews.com, Fox News Health. Australian teen's feet, legs bloodied by mystery sea creature. This goes to my thought that all the animals in Australia are trying to kill you and they want their land back. But apparently this boy, 16 years old, Sam Kenazay, is I believe how it's pronounced, he was at Brighton Beach in Melbourne, decided to go waist deep in the water after playing soccer. Started walking out of the water, saw what looked like sand stuck to his legs, so he shook it off real hard, and by the time he had walked over to where his shoes were, he was bleeding. So he wiped that off, and it started bleeding, or just kept bleeding, and so it kept bleeding to the point that they eventually had to take him to the hospital. His father, they weren't sure exactly what it was that caused it. His father went down to the beach with a swimming pool net and put some meat in it and collected the animals that were chomping on the meat. But I looked at a couple different places. I didn't see a video or picture of those animals. Whoa, what happened? But they said it looked like jellyfish larvae on there. And you can see him bandaged up there. But, yeah, so it was just kind of crazy. They're not 100% sure what it was. He said he had like all these little tiny holes all over his legs, and it just kept oozing and oozing. So there's a couple theories that it's either like the jellyfish larvae, which I don't believe eat meat, and the sea fleas or sea ticks, I think they were calling them, and those don't really eat meat either. So they're not 100% certain what it was caused by. So if you've watched my What the Hell News before, you know I like me a good story about crazy animal wounds as much, almost as much as I like my Florida stories. So this one I just thought was kind of crazy. It confirms to me that I do not need to be in the ocean water, and that all the animals in Australia want to kill you. So there you go. This next one here is out of New York City. It's toddstarnes.com. And it's going to load up here eventually, because it is just my computer's being crazy slow today. I apologize, but I'll go ahead and dig into it. Apparently, there are topless women around New York City that are panhandling and trying to force people to take pictures with them for money, and they are like accosting families and all this crazy stuff. And the cops are saying they can't arrest them because they're illegal, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because I know illegal people can get arrested. I know that happens. So I don't really know, but apparently they're crude and rude and just like totally their favorite targets to go after is families. I personally don't understand how nude panhandling doesn't get you arrested. I mean, can't they at least arrest them for indecent exposure? I mean, at least that's what I would think. I know in a lot of places panhandling is illegal. When I was in South Beach, they have signs up all over, no panhandling. I would have to think New York would be kind of similar, but I've never been to New York City, so I don't know for sure. But yeah, this was just one of those stories that was just kind of crazy. This guy, this Todd Starnes dude, seems to think it's because New York City's very liberal and they don't want to be arresting illegal aliens, or I shouldn't call them illegal aliens, I guess, illegal persons, because it looks bad. But then again, so does naked panhandling. So I'm just saying, all I can hope is that they're at least decent looking and nobody is, you know, I don't know. I don't even know that that helps. But it's one of those, you know, what the hell? I didn't want to spend a lot of time on that one because there wasn't a lot to it, but it was just one of those things that I saw and I was like, that's what the hell? That's just weird. This is WSPA.com. Upstate man, Union, South Carolina, who is shirtless on a hospital roof, wielding a sword, was arrested. This lovely gentleman right here, Chuck Randall Lipsy Jr., 26, was arrested Sunday morning. Apparently he said he liked the view from up there. It doesn't really ever say how he managed to get to the roof of the hospital. Most of the hospitals I worked at, and I've worked at several of them, roof access was locked. Even if they have like a helipad up there where they land the emergency helicopters, they still have it locked unless they're going to be using it. You know, because they don't want people jumping off the roof. The same reason that they have a lot of the windows closed to where you can't open them, because people were committing suicide by jumping out hospital windows. So at least I know that was the case at some of the hospitals the health system I worked at in Florida. So I don't know, maybe that's just a Florida thing, but it's kind of crazy. But yeah, so this dude's up on the roof because he likes the view. Nobody said how he managed to get through the hospital and get up to the roof with a sword, shirtless. I don't know if they don't have those details or they didn't deem it important, but I did look this up on a couple different sites to see if anybody had that information, and I couldn't find it. So I don't know what's going on at the Union Hospital, but maybe they need to lock it down a little bit better. Maybe. I'm starting to find out that South Carolina has some good stories, just like Florida, so I went from one crazy state to another. I guess that's why I fit in so well. Alright, and now we're gonna go to Florida. This gentleman was on Daytona Beach, 73-year-old retired gentleman whose wife had passed away. And again, my computer's gonna be slow, but I'll get to the gist of the story. This is Yahoo.com news. My Discord popping up there. Stop that. Okay. I should have probably closed that out before I started this, but sorry, Bella. You're now immortalized in my video. But anyway, so the guy was at Daytona Beach. He was devastated because he was trespassed for handing out business cards that say sugar daddy looking for a sugar baby. On the business card is a picture of a young girl sitting in an old man's lap, and it has an email address and says, ask me about your monthly allowance on there. Now, he said he's been careful not to hand the cards out to anyone under 18, but he's been passing them out, which is kind of crazy. But then when you go down further in the story, you find out he doesn't really even have any money to be a sugar daddy. He's just a retired, lonely gentleman, which is sad for him. I mean, Mr. Bazaraba? Yeah, and he's just all upset because he's on a 6-month ban from Daytona Beach now for soliciting, because you are not allowed to solicit on the beach. So yeah. He also said at one point he had a shirt that said accepting application for a sugar baby, which when he wore it on the beach, that women and girls wanted to have their picture taken with him in it. I don't know how much I believe that. I mean, I've seen people with some pretty cool shirts on, and I'm not like, hey, yo, let me get a picture of you in your shirt. You know, or me with your shirt. I mean, that's just creepy. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and other people really do that. But, yes, this poor gentleman, he's just sad and lonely, and I would have never thought to come up with my own cards, but to do that. But I guess then again, I'm not a sugar mama seeking a sugar baby. Or is that even what they call younger men when they have a sugar mama? They call them sugar babies too? I don't know. At any rate, I'd like to hear what y'all think about this. You know, were the police justified? Is he justified in being devastated and upset? I don't know. I also want to know what y'all think about the dude on the rooftop with the sword, because, like I said, it's that to me is just crazy how he could even get up there with a sword without a shirt. I'd actually like your opinions on any of them. Whoa, what happened? Oh no. Well, I had up here, so I'll just give you real quick. It was from page 6. Adele was hosting a Despicable Me 3 preview for the survivors of the building fire that happened in London. And of course, since it's not right in front of me, I can't remember the name of the building, but I wanted to end on a nice happy note, something good, something fun. And so, you know, Adele's now finished with her tour, Adele Live 2017, so now she is focusing on giving back to her home community, which I think is pretty awesome. So that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, click on that like, and share, of course, if you're so inclined. If you're new here or haven't done it yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. That would make me very happy. The more the merrier. You can get me on Twitter, which I don't go on. I go on a couple times a week, and that's at MommaFrog4U, and my email is at MommaFrog4U@gmail.com. So feel free to hit me up any of those ways. I look forward to seeing your comments about some of these crazy stories, and as always, continue to spread truth, love, and light, because that is the only way we're going to make this world better. From love and light from me to you, and I'll catch you on the flip.